What is happening, guys? On today's episode, I am going to be reacting to the Charlie Daniels Band, The Legend of a Wooley Swamp. Now, this was actually requested by one of our legendary subscribers, Joseph Undercoffer. Yet again, Joe, you're a G. Thanks for the donation, and thank you for supporting the channel. Now, Joe sent like 3 songs, and me, Charlie, and Max are all going to react to one of them each. But I chose this one because the name alone just sounds cool to me. The Legend of a Woolly Mammoth, my G. What? Nah, The Legend of a Wooley Swamp. You're telling me that don't sound cool? That's a cool name for a song right there. I don't know anything about it. I've never heard of Charlie Daniels. I don't know what kind of music he does. So without further ado, let's just get into this.
In this world you just can't explain.
Okay.
Old man lived in the Wooley Swamp way back in Booger Woods, and it never did do a lot of harm in the world, but it never did do no good. People didn't think too much of him, they all thought he acted funny. Old man didn't care about people anyway, all he cared about was his money. He stuck it all down in the mason jars and buried it all around. And on certain nights, if the moon was right, he'd dig it up out of the ground. And he poured it all out on the floor of his shack and run his fingers through it. Yeah, Lucius Clay was a greedy old man, that's all that there was to it. But I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself, and I couldn't conceive it. Cause I never would listen to nobody else, and I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself. There's some things in this world you just can't explain. Kegel boys is white trash who lived over on Carver's Creek, and they were mean as a snake sneaking.
You know them guitars are expensive.
One night the oldest brother said, y'all meet me in the Wooley Swamp later. We'll take old Lucius's money and we'll feed him to the alligators. Found the old man out in the back with a shovel in his hand. 13 rusty mason jars he just dug up out of the sand. They all went crazy and beat the old man and picked him up off the ground. And then they threw him in the swamp and they stood there and laughed as the black water sucked him down. Then they turned around and went back to the shack, picked up the money and ran. Hadn't gone nowhere when they realized that they were running in quicksand. And they struggled and they screamed, but they couldn't get away just before they went under. They could hear that old man laughing and the voice as loud as thunder. It's been 50 years ago and you can go by there yet. And there's a spot in the yard in the back of that shack where the ground is always wet. And on certain nights if the moon is right down by that dark footpath, you can hear 3 young men screaming. You can hear one old man laugh. If you ever go back in the Wooley Swamp, well, you better not go at night. Things out there in the middle of the woods make a strong man die for pride. Things that call and things that fly and things that creep around on the ground. And they say the ghost of the Lucius Clay gets up and he walks around. But I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself, and I couldn't conceive it. I never would listen to nobody else, and I couldn't believe it. I just had to find out for myself. There's some can't explain.
There's something about that just actually, I just got sucked into that. Usually I'll react halfway through, but I don't know, that just took me down a zone. I was trying to listen to what he was saying lyrically, but I put the captions on as well, it wasn't working. But what I gathered from it was, there's a man who owns a swamp in the woods, and you better not go around there. What? I need to read the lyrics properly because I want to know what he's actually saying. Joe, if you could let me know in the comments what he means by that. I liked how it was more of a story. He wasn't really singing in the verses, it was like, would you get out town, would you get up or down? You know what I mean? More talking, telling the story, and then when it hooks into the chorus, he sings a bit. I like songs like that. The actual music itself, I was getting some sort of like Lynyrd Skynyrd-y kind of instrumental. Do you know what I mean? There was, I don't know who came first, but there was like, yeah, similar sounds going on. Had the organ and the music, it was all matching. That's a good little song. Good little song. It wasn't amazing. Joe, you know I'm an honest man. I'm an honest man. Wasn't great. It was mediocre. You know what I mean? It could have been better. I don't know. There was just something about it that wasn't my... Would I put it on in the car? Probably not. There. Joe, they're not always going to be positive reactions, my G. You know how we do round here. However, listen, that's not to say that you haven't come up with some bangers up to now. You put me onto some good stuff. I'm talking to you, Joe. You put me onto some good stuff. This one is questionable, my friend. If yous weren't egging me on, would I go further down the Charlie Daniels Band route? Probably not. But guess what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's got more bangers. Who knows? Joe, maybe you can twist my head. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can go put me on that path. You know what I mean? Maybe there's more bangers by this guy. I'm pretty sure Max, my brother, reacted to one of his songs already, and he said it was an absolute banger. So listen, you can't win them all. This is what the beautiful thing is about this channel though, you know, because I'm loving that you guys are just sending me loads of different stuff to listen to. And it's no joke, ever since I've been doing this, it's broadened my whole horizon. And even when I'm writing songs now on the guitar, it's making me motivated to write different kind of how I would write, maybe a different type of riff or different chord progressions and stuff. So that's one thing I love about it. Whether I like the song or I don't like it, I always take something away from it. And there's something cool about that. Like I said just before, I might try and write a song where it's like talky in the verse and then opens up to a singy chorus. So Joe, you know what? I've taken something away from this, so I'm gonna look at it. I look at everything positively, and I'll take something positive away from this. I like the structure of this song, and I'm going to try and do something like that. If you've liked this video, you know what to do. Like it, share it, and subscribe. Send it to your mother, your father, your sister, your brother. Care. More importantly, if you want to request a reaction of your choice, and for me to prioritize it and stick it to the top of my to-do list and react to it, then all you gotta do is follow the instructions in the description. Until next time, peace out.